So this video is in regards to working with the equation of the line. The equation of the line is on the form that we will work on is on the form slope y-intercept, and then in this case what do we have is y is equal mx plus b, and m is the slope and y-intercept is b. Now, as the building process into this, we will start with how to calculate the slope, how to find the y-intercept, and then how to use the equation of the line to find the x when y is given and y when x is given. So as the very first step is we will see how to calculate the slope. In this case, what we have is the displacement time graph, and then we have 2 points, point A with coordinates 2 and 15, and point B with coordinates 8 and -12. So the formula for the slope is delta y over delta x, which in our case, y is the displacement and x is time. So will be delta d over delta t. And every time delta sign means the final minus initial. So our final is b and our initial is a. Therefore, the formula that we will use for the slope will be dB minus dA over TB minus TA. And then we will have a slope that is negative 4.5. We were expecting that the slope will be negative because the equation, the line between A and B is falling down. So when we have a line that is going up, then the slope will be a positive value. And if you have otherwise, then you have to check your calculations. And if the slope or the line is falling down, then the slope will be a negative value. And if you have otherwise, then you will, if you have otherwise, then you should check your calculations. And if the slope is parallel to the horizontal axis, then the slope will be equals to 0. So through those calculations and through those steps, you should be able to find the slope for any point. And then what we will do is, as the second step into the process of finding the equation of the line, we will find the y-intercept or the b value. Remember what we said, that the equation of the line that we will use in physics is mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So in our case, what did we have was the point A was with coordinate 2 for the horizontal and 15 for the vertical, and B is 8 and negative 12. And through the calculations, we've figured out that the slope is negative 4.5, and the units are meters per second because the units of the vertical are meters and the units for the horizontal are seconds. And now we will find the value of B. In this case, in order to find the value of B, we will use one of the point, either point A or point B. It doesn't really matter which one, but the order goes like this. If one of the points have one of the coordinates 0, then you use that point. And then you move to the one that has easy numbers to work with. And in this case, kind of the easiest one is to work with point A because it has both positive value. What we will do to find point B or value of B, we will walk through this equation, and when we see the value of D and the value of T, we will replace them with the corresponding values or given of D and T. And in our case, point A is with coordinates 2.0 and positive 15. And this is what we are doing here. This is representing t, and this is representing the d value. So as we are walking over the system or over the equation, we are replacing the value of d for positive 15 and the value of t for 2. And through the calculations, we find that the value of b, or y-intercept, is positive 24. So therefore, the equation of the line will be negative, d is equal negative 4.5t plus 24. Now, what we will do is we will find a value of y, in our case d, when the value of t is given. So again, we will use the substitution. Let's suppose that a question is asking you to find what is the displacement at 4.5 seconds. So that means that we are looking for d when t, that it is 4.5 seconds. Walking on the system as we are doing here, as soon as we see the variable that is given, we will replace it with the value. So as we are walking, we see a d and then an equal sign, a negative 4.5, and then 4.5 is multiplied by t, which is given as 4.5 seconds. So we replace it with 4.5 and plus, after that we see plus 24. After evaluating it, then we can say that at 4.5 seconds, the displacement of the object is positive 3.75 meters. Next step is to find the value of x, or t in our case, when y, or d in our case, is given. So this situation will be translated into asking you what is the time that the object is 10 meters away in the negative direction, away from the original position. So again, the same logic, we will substitute the value of the given variable into our equation. The starting point will be the equation of the line, and then we take the value as soon as we see the variable and we replace it. Negative 10 is equal to negative 4.5 times t plus 24, and then we solve for that variable, in our case t variable, and then will be 7.56. Physically, what that means is that at 7.56 seconds, you will see uh, displacement 10 meters away from the original position in the negative direction. Next thing that we will see is we will find the x-intercept. So what do you have to keep in mind on the x-intercept? We are looking for the coordinates of this point C here that is on the x-axis. Keep in mind that when any point in the x-axis, in our case t-axis, has a value of y, in our case d, as equal to 0. So the coordinates of this point will be something for x, and that something is between 2 and 8, and for the y coordinate 0. So this fact will be used to find the value of t for x, the coordinates of point C. The starting point again will be the equation of the line, and since we are finding the x-intercept, we'll use the fact that d value is equal to 0. So we'll replace that. 0 is equal to negative 4.5 tc plus 24, and then we'll solve for the value of t of point C, and that will be 5.33. If something is coming out as not between 2 and 8, as we were expecting, then what do you have to do is you have to check your calculations because you probably did something wrong. Now, as a practice, what I want you to do is I want to find the equation of the line in the y-intercept form to find the value of x when the value of y when x is given, and to find the value of x when y is given, and then to find the x-intercept for those practice problems here. Now you may say, what is the value of x or the y? It will be between those two values here. So the value of given x will be, let's say, x is given as 1.2 seconds, and then you will find the value of y. And next one will be y equals to 10, and you will find the value of x, and then you will find the x-intercept. For the second one will be a value of x given as 7.32, and you will find the value of y, and the value of y given will be negative 7.5, and you will find the value of x. And for the third one, you will have to find the value of y when x is given as 4.35. What is y?